Okay. I mean, nah, this is more cinematic. Hello, people. I mean, is anybody here? Um, no, it's fine. I'll do that. Man. So, while I wait for it's to look into this video, um, there are to be considered, even if I'm going to share this live. So, good afternoon, good day, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever and whenever you see the video. My name is Shedrack. I'm Shedrack, yeah. So, let me see. So, I'm one of the co-founders of Naija We Need, and I'm here live to educate you guys and also talk about the trending on the Donald Trump administration and the effects in Nigeria today. Oh my God, don't do that. So I was meant to put up my something much better. It's much better. Yeah. So Trump, what is going on with Trump administration? Why are we having a problem with the Trump's administration? Well, Nigeria is not actually having problem with Trump's administration. Yeah, Trump is really having problem with Nigeria, but most Nigerian citizens and Nigerian individuals feel like Donald Trump is trying to invade Nigeria. But Donald Trump made it clearly in his tweets and his statements that he is after terrorist organization in Nigeria. But a lot of persons have been saying, well, it's another means to, to get to Nigerian natural resources. But you guys forget that it's still Trump that have been trying to make peace in other countries and continents. I think recently he backed up the recent um, Gaza peace treaty, and then also there is this Middle East war that Trump have really made peace so far. So Trump is just saying in Nigeria that he is there to stop the terrorists. He's not there to take whoever mineral resources are, and there are verifiable facts, there are evidences that terrorists in Nigeria have been messing up the country, and most politicians, sorry to say, have been bankrolling these individuals, and some international organizations have been bankrolling these individuals, and sometimes during election, right, they still meet up with these bandits to cause chaos, especially with opposition parties and the rest of them. So it seems like Trump intervention in Nigeria is like a wake-up call to the democracy of Nigeria, because a lot of time we've been hearing, I mean, I've not been to Jos, right? But people in Jos and people that I know from Jos, a lot of them ran down to Abuja, Lagos, and then they even came down to East. And whenever I ask these individuals what is actually going on in Jos, they'll be like, bro, you don't need to know Jos, right? But most times, you'll be like, okay, Jos is cold, right? You really want to see what's going on in Jos. But they tell you insecurity is serious there. And once they tell you insecurity is serious there, it's not for you to use your eyes and go and experience, because once you get to experience that, it's traumatic. So what Donald Trump is saying at this moment is he wants the Nigerian government to sit up, and if you can collaborate with us as the United States, of course we can give you guys weapons to go after these individuals. But I have a problem, and there is a question I've been asking so far. Okay, ba, the Boko Harams that have been rehabilitated and injected inside the paramilitaries in this country, and also the Boko Harams have been, we call them the rehabilitated Boko Harams, I mean terrorists from the north, then you still employ them into the Nigerian military. Is it not like, taking a corn, beans, let's use beans as example, right? It's just like taking a beans that weevil have already infiltrated, yeah, and then you sieve them out, and you know that you really haven't done anything like, let's say, proper examination and proper cleansing of these particular beans, and you carry those beans with weevils, and you took out one or two beans weevils from them, right, and you carry that one cup and put inside a bag of beans. That you've already messed up the whole beans, actually, you understand? So that is the situation where we have Nigeria today. The military have been infiltrated with most of these terrorists. They actually turn up to become informants to the Boko Harams, the ISIS, and bandits. So whoever is operating, even the Nigerian military. Okay, let me tell you a real life story, right? I was actually traveling from Enugu to Abuja. So I was opportune, right, to sit beside a military man, an ex-military man. So what this man has said so far, I mean, I was scared. It was as if like this man is telling a Hollywood blockbuster action movie. He said that this thing happened, and he was showing his scars. Like, it's a long journey, so he had all the time. We had all the time to discuss with the driver. He said the thing that is going on in the north, when insurgencies start happening, especially these bandits start operating, like, it's unspeakable. That even his team, he was lucky that he just came back alive anyway. That even his team actually had, I mean, dude, like, for me, I was a filmmaker then, because I was like, okay, how can I achieve, Godwin, welcome, yeah? I was like, how can I get to this ex-military guy to tell this story to Nigerians, to actually know that these things exist? Because when I'm in the East, people will tell me, most paramilitary individuals, especially army, they will tell you that, if they send you, go north, just they pray to your God. I mean, start repenting, because anytime, any day, they can just send you to Sambisa Forest, because these people know what they are doing, right? So I believe that the best way to, in fact, it's just Trump to come and take over from this paramilitary issue and clean out the bandits from the system of the military down to the people in the villages, right? Because if care is not taken, this Nigeria we are talking about is going to be like Pakistan, where Talibans are taking care of everything going on in the country. Yeah, it's going to just be like that Taliban country, because Nigeria have already accepted these individuals to become part of the justice system in the society. So wherever you have sponsors of Boko Haram leading the country, Boko Haram cannot be solved, because they want to use it as their own toy. They want to use it as their own weapon of mass destruction. Let's say whatever they do does not favor them, they'll just I'll speak their language. And let's just be honest with the truth here, is that if Trump invades, I'm not saying invasion, actually, if Trump comes into Nigeria seriously and then send his army and the rest of them, I believe that Trump will do a better job than Nigerian government have done over 16 to 20 years, or probably a decade, of fighting Boko Haram. So I believe that these individuals have the resources, they know the intelligence, and they have better equipment which Nigeria do not have. Even if Nigeria, even if look, let's say Trump now say they want to give Nigeria these weapons to fight Boko Haram and the rest of them, honestly, Nigerian government will carry it and keep one side, and before you know it, that weapon, those weapons will start missing. And once we start looking for that weapon, you see it in the hands of the bandits, and they'll come up on their TikTok and start showing and showing off. It doesn't make sense. So I believe, in my own opinion, right, that Trump should do what is necessary, not just to save Christianity, right? Even Muslims are suffering. It's not just Christianity that have been saying this. Muslims have been complaining about insecurity in the north and also in some part of the country. So I believe, I don't know if you have any dissenting argument, or you probably have a comment to say, okay, that Trump should not invade Nigeria. Probably give me your view. If you're on the comments right now, just give me your view. I'll look at it and be like, okay, we can reason it out. But I've been quiet on this so far. I've been reading people's comments. I've been reading a lot of person's comments. Okay, imagine they are not trying to use this to look like a propaganda that PDP government, ADC government is against ABC government. I mean, dude, look at this, man. We are talking about people's life, right? And we are talking about people's life, and the country is not going anywhere further. It's not even going somewhere anybody's understanding at this moment, right? A lot of persons, we've been hearing numbers. The Nigerian government have released 10 billion. Where is all this money going to? So at least we need a system that is accountable, a Trump administration system that is accountable, that can tackle this insecurity issue. At least if we have, just like most politicians will say, if insecurity issue is solved in this country, 99% of Nigerian problem will be solved. Now, why are we having high cost of food items in every part of Nigeria? It's because of this insecurity. Because the North have stopped planting. Benue, their houses are already done, like it's over. So we need kind of like miracle for us to go back to the status quo, because the farmlands of Benue farmers are gone. In the north, the same thing. I think, yeah, Benue is still not. Just the same thing. Tomato, even garri, even eba is expensive. It's not because of dollar. It's because of this individual states having problem with insecurity. They'll say Fulani herdsmen, this one and that one. So I mean, I believe that Nigeria is going to be better. It's going to be very better, but on a proper intervention of the proper government. But now the international community are still trying to, what is it called? Are trying to use this as politics. Maybe the individuals that have the bigger hand in taking mineral resources, they want to do that. So that is about Trump administration I'm going to talk about. I think I'm having, all right. So I've been making videos, and then I'm still going to be releasing videos today and tomorrow concerning your constitutional rights. I've tried as much as I can to break down constitutional rights for the layman to understand. There are little things we ought to know that are very powerful as Nigerian citizens. Okay, so we are done with Trump administration. So let's talk about police. And whenever you go on the road, whether just to know your rights, there are times you'll be like, say, I know my rights, I know my rights, I know my rights. Sometimes there are ways you have to talk to the Nigerian police. The Nigerian police will reason with you, okay? But if they know that you don't know those things, right? Okay, quoting this constitution is not really necessary for the Nigerian police to listen to you. It's just like most Christians quoting some general verses in the Bible. In fact, when you probably want to cast away demon, you have to quote Bible verse according to what they say, right? But quoting the Nigerian constitution, the 1999 constitution, is not really necessary for a police officer to listen to. He believes that everybody knows the Nigerian constitution. But if you quote some section of the Police Act, which is the enabling section of him operating that kind as a police officer, right? If you quote some section, or you don't really need to quote it verbatim, if you quote some of those things and tell him this is what you ought to do, that police officer will sit up. Number one I'm going to talk about is stereotype. Whenever you travel in this country as a Nigerian youth, I don't know whether youth are going to listen to this or whoever is going to listen to it. If you are traveling in this country and you're on the road, yeah, Number one, you have to be calm. You need to observe your environment. That is the first thing you have to do, because I've had numerous encounters with Nigerian police, right? What they usually do is they'll look at you and know whether you are knowledgeable of at least little law, or you know what you want in this life, right? Now they will stop you and be like, I want to search you. The Nigerian police have the right, they have the power, based on reasonable suspicion. Emphasis on reasonable suspicion. It is on your own judgment to know whether this police officer has reasonably searched you as an individual on the road, whether probably on the keke or you're on the bus or the whatever. Based on reason, they have the power to search you. So whenever a police officer, you know that this police officer is doing his duty or is on a checkpoint and he said, please, he looks at you and tell you to come out, he wants to search you, please give him that. Don't say, where is your search warrant? So long as you have something, like you don't have anything incriminating on you, right? Just whenever you're going on the road in this country, don't go with anything incriminating. But if you are okay, don't argue with the police when the police tell you, I want to search you. Raise your hands, open your pockets. And if you have your extra phones, yeah, I have this experience. If you have extra phones inside your bag, maybe in your purse or the rest of it, you first of all, before the police officer even starts making that search, tell the police officer that you have 2 iPhones in your bag, so I'm going to reach out to my iPhone and then I'm going to grab it. So once your phone, you're holding your phones like this, right? The Nigerian police do not have rights to tell you you stole those phones, even if those phones are 5, right? Just tell them I work, I'm a business person, bring all those phones. It doesn't make sense that the Nigerian police officer will open your bag and see those items there. He will feel like he will have that reasonable suspicion that maybe this is a stolen phone. So whatever item that you want, you are suspecting that a police officer will say and okay, tell you open this phone, right? Because they'll be like, why is this phone locked? This phone is inside your box. Who owns it? You know, it prompts those questions. So you need to tell the police officer beforehand that I have 2 phones, and then I'm holding one, and then I'm going to bring out the rest of them. And the police officer will allow you. He must allow you. Then he can now search your pockets, search your bags, right? But what Nigerian police cannot do is this phone. He cannot tell you to open this phone. Now, most police officers have devised a means in the sense that they will build a little bit curious, something, a shanty, according to Honorable Dave Umai, a shanty, right? They'll build it and then they'll look at somebody that is naive and tell him, follow me on that same road. I want to put you in a disclosed area. You refuse and be like, Oga, have I committed any crime? That's the first question you ask. So if the Nigerian police, you tell the Nigerian police, if you are coming to search me as an individual, please search me in the presence of other persons. You cannot tell me to go to an enclosed area, because enclosed area means that they want to infringe your rights. And what they normally want to do is your phone. They'll be like, open your phone. You look like a Yahoo boy. It's better you tell them and stand your ground there. Meanwhile, other passengers are there, especially if you are traveling on a public transport. Make sure that the Nigerian police searches you the normal way they ought to search you. Don't argue with them if you are okay. But once the Nigerian police starts, searching you indecently, that is when you can now make noise. For instance, the Nigerian police officer start touching your bola as a guy. Be like, okay, what's your problem now? You have to protest, okay? Unless it's a medical examination. But if it's on the road, you just have to search your pocket and the rest of them. Now, what else can Nigerian police do? If you're a car owner and Nigerian police tells you, I want to search your car, probably stops you and be like, please come out and open your boot. The Nigerian police have that power to do that. But Nigerian police cannot tell you that you want to enter the car so that I can carry him, as his power. No. So don't argue with the Nigerian police when it is time for them to do their search and conduct their search. They don't need search warrants for that particular one. All this stop and search. But Nigerian police actually abuses all those things sometimes. Because there may be an intel that a black Lexus or a red Lexus is missing in this particular vicinity. Please look out for a model of this Lexus and stop any reasonable any kind of car with that particular model. The Nigerian police is expected to stop individual cars that are like Lexus, in fact that are Lexus only. Nigerian police are, I don't know, they need to just only be stopping those Lexus, because main focus. Other cars, they can just leave it, unless it is just a general stop and search. They can do that. Then that is where Nigerian, I'm done with Nigerian stop and then also a Nigerian police officer, a male police officer cannot search a female. So whenever, if you're a girl and a police officer wants to come and search you, please protest immediately. All right, protest and be like, it's either he gets a woman police to search you as a lady, or you search yourself normally. If you search yourself normally, that is fine. Okay, don't allow a male police officer to do that. And if he does it immediately and you get it in a video, you can send it online. There are a lot of lawyers that are ready to sue the Nigerian police immediately for sexual assault, because that's in warrants to sexual assault, and they know. So Nigerian police officer, a male Nigerian police officer cannot just search a lady for any reason, except in some few circumstances. When I say few circumstances, is maybe the urgency of the matter. They are looking for a particular thing, maybe a concealed goods or something like that, maybe hard drugs, and there is no female police officer there, urgency of the matter I'm talking about, then Nigerian police can search that lady. But if it's on a normal road that they are searching other persons, and then they now look at you, you're a lady, and a male police officer feel like you are busted, that he wants to now search you and touch you, it's wrong. Once you get that, just forward that person, just note that person's face, and then forward it to the nearest. You don't even need to, they know who they send in each police checkpoint. They will fish out that person, you understand? So the next thing is now search. There is difference between a lot of people are having these issues with Nigerian police or other law enforcement agencies searching your building. There are a lot of things that you don't know. Maybe once the EFCC breaks into your house as a young guy, maybe in my room now, okay, I'm living in a very comfortable house. If EFCC breaks in, you know, there are some circumstances I will check before I can protest. If there is an information or a complaint or a petition against me that this my building is concealing a contraband goods, or I am doing Yahoo in this house, this my laptops, this my system, that somebody gave Nigerian police information or EFCC information that I am conducting an illegal activity here. Nigerian police or EFCC do not have, they have the power to break into this house immediately and retrieve all these items, because if they start waiting for a search warrant from the judge or magistrate, that is where they have a problem, right? So I could confiscate it and the rest of them. These are the powers that was being given to EFCC and the rest of them. But these individuals are abusing it. Okay? Now, in a situation whereby somebody gives that same information and they raid inside this my house and they could not find anything, if you are so generous enough and you really need to take all this, you really need to take actions into your hands, you can request for that EFCC individuals to provide that person that provided that misinformation, and you can sue that person, that whistleblower, for malicious words, prosecution, and then for malicious information. Okay, you can sue and get damages, and for things being damaged, because most people, I see a lot of videos online on TikTok, young guys will just see EFCC don't break my TV, the rest of, just go and find that person that laid that complaint and sue him. Once you sue that person eye go clear. Tomorrow you cannot just be giving out information anyhow. Okay, these are the little things, these are the hidden laws that, these are the things you ought to know as a Nigerian citizen. You don't need a lawyer to do that one. You can just go and make a formal request to that EFCC office, nearest EFCC office, and be like, my house was raided, so place, this is my address, and then the EFCC individual did not find anything. I request to find the petitioner or the person who gave that information. Okay, then if the FCC can be compliant with you, if they're good enough, they can go ahead and give you those things, and you sue that person. It may be your neighbor, you go and sue him and collect big damages, and at least you don't cash out with that, right? So these are the things. You don't just keep quiet because you want to keep quiet. All right, now another instances is that the individuals that have the power to just be breaking into people's house, customs. If customs have suspicion that this particular building is having any contraband goods, like Nigerian government have said these goods cannot be found in Nigeria, custom does not need search warrants. And what is search warrant? Search warrant is like, sorry, I did not explain what search warrant is. Search warrant is like a legal document, a form, let's say signed by a judge, magistrate or justice of peace, yes, and the National Assembly, it's just like breaching your fundamental human rights to privacy. So you know that right to human rights, you cannot really breach those rights, right? But it's a legal way for Nigerian police and other law enforcement to breach your rights. So that is where they introduce search warrants. Okay, so search warrants comes there to breach those your rights. Now a situation whereby custom comes in without a search warrant, you know that they already have the power, they have been given the power through their enabling act. Enabling act I mean here is custom and immigration have their laws governing them. So the National Assembly, which passed that law and assented by the president of the country, maybe Tinubu, they already established an agency called custom. So those powers will be in their act, it's not in the constitution. The same thing happens to EFCC. If you go to EFCC act, you see where they give them all these powers to, break in without, infringing in people's human rights, because that's where they get their own excuses. All right, sorry, I'm kind of like a little bit glitching. So the same thing applies to civil defense. Civil defense can come into anybody's house so long as that they have any evidence or probably information that some persons have been hoarding some goods that is vandalization material to burst pipeline, and they will just come in and do this thing. So let us finish with that search without warrant. Then let us talk about search with warrant. When a law officer or a parastatal comes with search warrant, comes humbly and then come to your gate and knock, or come to your office or your warehouse and knocks and say, sir, we have a search warrant to search this place. Now there are time frames to do search warrants. Search warrants can be done anytime, any day. Public holiday, in fact, to conduct a search of a premise actually must be anytime, any day. Public holiday, Christmas, they can come anytime and do their search. But sometimes it's somewhere in Lagos, you have to wait till from that 5 o'clock till 6 a.m. till 5 p.m. Sorry, to 8 p.m. So from that time, if that person is not around, Nigerian police do not have that right to come and search, so long as they have a valid search warrant. So now, if a police officer comes to you and tells you there is a search warrant to search this my house, the first thing I have to do, and these are the procedures, you be calm. Don't panic, no panic. Police officers are still human beings like you. So long as you know that you are okay, there is nothing going on in this room and there is nothing going on in this place. First of all, tell them, okay, fine, can I see the search warrant? They say, okay, I can see. They have the duty, they are obligated to show you that search warrant. You first of all check the name of the building first. Check the name of the person who is the search is being addressed to. Then check the items, because in each